Hi everyone, I all hope you had a very, very wonderful day and a very, very beautiful and blessed day indeed. I'm very, very grateful for you guys viewing and watching my episodes. Also subscribing and also subscribing as well means a lot to me. Means so much a lot to me, guys. Completely means so much a lot to me. So God bless you all. On today's episode, we're to speak about the universal magic heroes who were quietly formed for many, many years, who were quietly formed in many, many years, and were quietly led by Noland. So let's exactly begin. In the early years, when the universal heroes were quietly well known throughout the sacred world and throughout the rest of sacred existence and the known universe, the Nolan exactly came to an idea that the universal heroes might need more backup and might need more resources than ever in order to fight against the sinister threats and the sinister forces of evil of the sacred world and also within humanity and also within the known universe as well. He came to the conclusion, as he told the Universal Man, that he'll be exactly extending invitations to other members, to other magical members throughout the magical worlds and throughout the magical dimensions in order for them to exactly aid him and assist him in fighting against the forces of evil that threaten the sacred peace and also the balance that they are trying to restore as well in the process. Universal Magical exactly told Nolan that the idea is quietly good and very quietly intriguing and very quietly well, which he should exactly proceed with the idea and he should exactly move forward with the idea as well, which could exactly help them win the war quickly and more faster than ever possible, which he completely agreed as well. Nolan exactly shook hands with Universal Man and with Universal Magical stated that Universal Magical is also still a member of the Universal Magic Heroes, and that she's free to join even if she's a full founding member of the Universal Heroes as well. Universal Man exactly gave his blessings to Nolan, telling him that he'll be doing an excellent job by making a difference within the magical worlds, within the sacred magical worlds, and within the sacred magic dimension, and within the sacred magic universe as well in the process by fighting the forces of evil as well. Nolan exactly began as he told them that he'll be heading off to exactly extending invitations to few other magical warlocks and witches and fairies and other magical users in order for them to join his new sacred team known as the Universal Magic Heroes as well in the process. During at that time, Nolan exactly began his mission, started beginning his mission and started exactly sending invitations to certain magical creatures and magical beings that can exactly join his new sacred covert team known as the Universal Magic Heroes. The first was quietly sent to Mike, the second was quietly sent to David, the third was quietly sent to Nelly as well, who is a powerful light witch, and Nolan exactly welcomed them to his central headquarters, which is within the magical worlds, which within the magical worlds and within the magical cities of the other magical civilizations as well. He told them that they are a secret covert team of universal magic heroes with the goal and purpose to protecting sacred peace and to protecting sacred harmony and also to protecting humanity and serving justice to the sacred world and to humanity and to the known universe and to the sacred universe as well. Importantly, by restoring peace and balance and harmony in the process is what they are willing to do by any means necessary. The three members completely agreed that they'll exactly deliver and do just that in order to protecting humanity and the rest of their people and the rest of their kinds and the rest of the other known worlds and the known planets and the known universes and the other universes and the other and also the sacred world and the sacred universe in the process by any means necessary. Nolan was completely happy and very much completely proud of his new members of his teammate David, Mike, and Nelly as well. That each of the member of the teammates have their own expertise their talents, and their abilities as well in order to help him fight against the forces of evil in the process as well. On the 16th of January, the Universal Magic Heroes stumbled across a planet that was completely drained and harvested of all magic energy in one fell swoop. Nolan and Mike were completely devastated as Nellie used her magical abilities and powers to exactly see what happened to the planet, as she couldn't exactly tell that this was a huge dark ray of that this was exactly a huge dark ray of powerful dark magic being at work, that this crime was exactly created and committed by a powerful dark mysterious group of dark magic users known as the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful, who are quietly operating and working on the behalf of the Shadow Empire, or rather on the high priestesses or the higher greater dark witch, which are quietly revered and known. Nolan exactly came to the conclusion that these dark magic users are posing a threat to the sacred balance and are upsetting the delicate balance of power and everything else, despite that the Shadow Empire is under the current leadership of the original Laurel Magic, which Nolan exactly came to suspect that the Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Heroes are waging war with the bad guys. Meanwhile, they'll exactly begin to wage war with the dark magic users in a process in order to exactly stop their rampage, in order to stop their plans and their sinister plans in a process as well. On the on the 26th of January, Nelly was able to exactly pinpoint the location of the dark magic users, which were exactly about to converge on another sinister planet by using the dark machine, and she discovered that they exactly are on a serious rampage that could upset the delicate balance that they are trying to protect as well. David exactly told Nolan that they should exactly move faster and intercept these dark magic users and also taking them down completely. On the 28th, the Universal Magic Heroes encountered the Dark Magic Users for the very first time, and they battled them on their headquarters, on their asteroid headquarters, and they fought with them against their dark magic. David, Mike, Nelly, and Nolan used their magic abilities, used their combat magic abilities to fight against the dark magic users. The battle was quietly longer, and it was very much quietly longer until the 29th, until the dark magic users were heavily decimated and some of them completely escaped. Nolan destroyed the entire dark machine and all of its powers and all of its powers and all of its dark powers and ability, and all the magical energy and powers was restored back to its rightful owners and to its rightful leaders and to the rightful planets and to the rightful world in the process as well. On the 1st of February, news of the original death of the original Lord of Magic created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire that forces every other Shadow Empire warlord and commander to secretly form an alliance with ancient groups of supervillains known as the Founders, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, and also the Unholy Alliance, the Sacred Circle, the Unholy Alliance, and the Sacred Circle, and Sacred Five as well. In the process, these ancient groups of supervillains will supply them with more worlds and with more planets that are under their control. In return, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders will secretly supply them with more powerful, destructive Shadow Empire technology as part of their deal as well. During at that time, the Universal Magic Heroes discovered that the dark magic users are still operating under the current leadership of a powerful dark witch, which are still exactly continue to do so, and that they discovered that Witchcaster is the current leader of the Dark Druids, who are exactly beginning serious dark experiments in harvesting shadow energy and magic energy in a process which could alter the sacred cosmic balance of the sacred universe and of the sacred world in the process. They decided to take the war against the dark magic users, and they decided to take them on and fight them on head on. On the 15th of February, the Universal Magic Heroes continue to liberate thousands of worlds and planets from the Shadow Empire's control as they continue to fighting against the Shadow Empire warlord and commanders working beside the Intergalactic Coalition for Nation Hunters, which they were able to successfully liberate those worlds and those planets in the process, ultimately capturing several key enemies known as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, and ultimately sending them straightly into the Astral Prison, a prison designed to house super criminals, super villains, evil warlocks, evil druids, evil faithful, evil super criminals and super villains, and dark, mysterious Shadow Empire warlords and powerful warlords and evil commanders and other ancient and powerful villains as well, who are wreaking havoc on a larger scale than ever before, and who are ultimately sent into the astral prison, the sacred prison, or the dark ark, which those prisons are designed to house super criminals, super villains, dark magic users, evil warlords, and evil warlocks and evil commanders as well. In the process, during at that time, the Intergalactic Coalition thanked the Universal Magic Heroes for their assistance and for their aid in capturing several key enemies, as well as stated that their services are hereby needed and they will hereby always be needed. Nolan exactly shook hands with the Intergalactic Coalition Formation Hunter Council, stated that the Universal Magic Heroes will continue doing their job and their mission as well in saving other worlds and other planets and restoring sacred balance to the known universe and to the sacred world and to the sacred universe in the process, and to humanity as well in the process. On the 20th on the 20th of February, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly began creating a planetary map of all the worlds, of all the planets, trying to exactly navigate and locate the enemy's movements and learning more about the dark magic users' movements and plans in their long rampaging, in harvesting and extracting so much of magical energy, so much of magical energy and magical powers in the process exactly, and what they're willing to do with those powers as well, if they have exactly quietly have obtained them and have exactly had them under their grips and under their sole control as well. During at the time, Nolan exactly came to the conclusion that the dark magic users of another group of the dark magic users known as the Seconds are exactly completely on a long rampage and are still attacking the members of the Intergalactic Coalition, which they should exactly head on and exactly prevent that attack and fight the enemy head on by any means necessary, which they're successfully able to agree as well on that matter. On the 40th of March, the dark magic users known as the Second besieged the entire besieged the entire Intergalactic Coalition's other home bases of the temples, of the worlds, of the ancient temples, of the headquarters with the dark magic abilities, which the Intergalactic Coalition Formation Hunters were forced to fight back until the Universal Magic Heroes arrived in time in order to turn the tide against the enemy, which they were completely able to decimate several of the dark magic users known as the Seconds in the process, and some of them were ultimately taken into custody and sentenced straightly into the astral prison. The Universal Magic Hero leader known as Zolan exactly told the Intergalactic Coalition members and leaders that the dark magic users aren't giving up without a fight, and that this ambush and attack is just the first of many others which will exactly continue to escalate, and it will exactly continue to escalate, and that they're becoming quietly very much unedged, and they're becoming quietly very much unedged and uneasy and unpredictable as well with their targeting and with their ambush, which means, in other words, they'll become sloppy, and they become very, very quiet. They become sloppy, or either they'll exactly make a big mistake, or either they'll exactly orchestrate another ambush or another sinister attack against the Intergalactic Coalition, which means, in other words, that they are under the current leadership of a powerful dark witch, or either the influence of another powerful sinister dark witch as well, which, in other words, they are becoming too dangerous and they're becoming unpredictable and uneasy threats, and uneasy threats makes them unpredictable threats and magnificent threats ever before, which makes them dangerous and very much quietly deadly and very much quietly evil. In other words, these dark magic users will exactly not stop attacking, as Nolan exactly told the leaders and the members of the Intergalactic Coalition as well. The members of the Intergalactic Coalition exactly told Nolan that they appreciate their help and their assistance, but stating that the Intergalactic Coalition has the situation well under control, and that they'll do everything in their power and everything else in their power and in their control to make sure that this attack never exactly happens and never exactly takes place ever again. Nolan was eager to see exactly if that will come to pass, or rather would not successfully able to come to pass or not, to see if the next attack will exactly able to take place as well. On the 20th on the 20th, on the 20th of March, on the 20th of, on the 20th, on the 20th, yes, on the 20th of March, on the 20th of March, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly began making preparations to go to an abandoned world, in order to investigate more about the dark crystals being harvested and being used for serious dark rituals and for dark larger scale witchcraft, which they exactly appeared on that world on the 21 of March, on the 21 of March, unaware that this was an ambush in order to finally put an end to them, which was orchestrated by another ancient serious group of supervillains known as the Order of the Five, where Red Knight exactly appeared with a group of Noten Knights assassins telling the Universal Magic Heroes that this is exactly the end of the road for them and that they had enough of the interference and also them thwarting their plans and everything else, meaning that this is finally the end of the Universal Magic Heroes. Nolan exactly realizes that they were quietly being set up and being ambushed by a member within the Intergalactic Coalition who gratefully is still working with the enemy on the outside, which means in other words that there's a mole and that there's a spy and that there's a compromised Four-Nation hunter who's quietly leaking information to the enemy on the outside. Nolan exactly told his troopers that they have to exactly march and exactly take the battle straightly towards the enemies, which they defeated the Noten Knight assassin and also several other villains and criminals as well. Red Knight completely escaped within the ambush he orchestrated, and he completely disappeared, but he didn't exactly have the time or place to fight the Universal Magic Hero leader, as he realizes that they will exactly outnumber him and overpower his forces, as he decided to completely disappear as well within that time of the battle. The Universal Magic Heroes completely captured several key enemies and was successfully victorious within the battle, as they exactly sentenced the enemy directly into the Astral Prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the sacred world and against sacred existence and against sacred peace and against humanity as well. On the 10th of April, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly decided to investigate to know more about the Order of the Five and to know more about the founders, the Sacred Five, the Sacred Circle, the Unholy Alliance, who are the most powerful, formidable ancient groups of supervillains that have existed for millennia and for many centuries. These ancient secret societies are powerful and are very dangerous, which they decided to learn more about them and also investigate their origins and learning more about their founding leaders and members as well, realizing that their enemies are powerful groups of ancient supervillains who are willing to control and manipulate the sacred war and the sacred conflict in a process for their own use and for their own evil purposes in order to further their plans, in order to further their sinister plans to successfully having sole control over the known universe and over the sacred universe as well in the process. Nolan exactly discovered that these groups of ancient powerful supervillains are the reason that the sacred galactic war is still exactly being waged and is still exactly seriously continuing and is still exactly continuing to go on, and the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders are the ones that are exactly forming alliances with these groups of supervillains and are also the reason that they're exactly supplying them with more destructive and powerful technology as well. Nolan exactly discovered that the only way for them to exactly cut the enemy's power at the source will be targeting the Shadow Empire warlords' technology and purposely destroying it completely, which the enemy won't exactly have to receive more powerful and destructive technology as ever before. David exactly completely agreed with Nolan's opinion in attacking the enemy's source of power and also technology advancement, which could exactly prevent the enemy from seizing more powerful destructive technology as ever before, and also more powerful destructive weapons as well in the process. And they decided to proceed on with this tactic and with this plan as well. On the 19th of March, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly arrived on the Shadow Empire base and decided to destroy every set of technology, every set of destructive technology and power, and they also destroyed the base within and captured one Shadow Empire commander and told him that all the technology has been destroyed and whoever is the current leader of the Shadow Empire right now should exactly make sure that they'll never exactly receive more technology as ever before, unaware that David already put a hidden tracker within the Shadow Empire warlord. They returned back to their central headquarters of their base, where they were able to purposely listening on the device that they planted on the Shadow Empire warlord, where he was able to arrive on the central headquarters of the Shadow Empire, where he told Red Bolt, who is a super villain and a founder and a leader of another ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Order, which I mentioned to you guys I think it was many years ago from now on that I exactly mentioned to you guys about the Dark Order and also Red Bolt. The episode is still there if you want to know more about it, about him and everything else, just to exactly inform me, just in order to exactly tell you. It's Red Bolt, who's a supervillain and also the founder leader of the Dark Order. If you want to know more about him, you'll exactly found his episode in the other episodes and the other previous videos, which you're exactly able to look. Anyway, despite this, the Shadow Empire warlord exactly told Red Bolt that the Universal Magic Heroes destroyed the entire facility of destructive and powerful technology as well, and Red Bolt became completely happy and very completely pleased that the operation is exactly taking place, that everything else is going according to schedule, the way it's intended to be, without any further interruptions. I'm realizing that the Universal Magic Heroes are listening and that the Universal Magic Heroes were successfully used in someone else's war in order to thwart the enemy's plan to seize a more destructive and powerful technology, and a way that they exactly did the favor for another competitor of another group of supervillains known as the Dark Order, who exactly, by the way, they helped them by destroying the technology, by preventing the Shadow Empire warlords and commander from delivering and supplying these ancient groups of super villains with more destructive and powerful compatible technology in the process. Despite that, Nolan exactly shut down the earpiece of the recording and also the listening device, and decided that they should focus on their main objective in targeting the dark magic users who are still on a rampage, and that they should exactly focus all their movements upon them in order to figure out exactly what are they planning and who's exactly giving them orders. Nani completely agreed that they should exactly focus their objective and their true objective on those targets, on those dark magic users as well. On the 11th of April, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly arrive in a beautiful world, in a very beautiful world, in a very much more beautiful magical world where lived warlocks, witches, druids, faithful mermaids, beautiful sacred magical creatures all living together in harmony as well. As they arrive just in the nick of time, as a group of dark magic users began to exactly unleash their dark magic on those worlds and even on their dark power, on the huge dark larger scale witchcraft, as well as the Universal Magic Heroes completely waged war with the dark magic users and completely decimated them, and some of them completely escaped, as Nolan realized that the enemy is quietly still aboard on that asteroid base, as he completely decided to go alone, as one of his comrades exactly decided to follow him, known as Mike, who exactly entered the asteroid base with him and followed as much of the dark magic users and exactly fought them until he came face to face with the most powerful dark witch ever existed, known as Witchcaster. Nolan fought against Witchcaster's dark magic powers and was completely overpowered by Witchcaster's dark magic, as he realized that a Witchcaster is a formidable dark witch, a more powerful dark witch than any other witch he has never ever encountered. Witchcaster completely teleported, and the rest of her forces completely continued the fight until Nellen used her newfound magical abilities to destroy and decimate the another dark magic machine and completely wiped it out. Before doing that, David exactly gathered more intelligence from the asteroid-based computers and hacked through it and learned that the other group of dark magic users are about to besiege another hidden base of the Intergalactic Coalition scouts, and another Intergalactic Coalition scouts or bases of operation in a matter of moments. Nolan exactly realizes they have to beat them to the chase in order to stopping the enemy before they can successfully besiege the entire base with dark magic, which he successfully agreed as well. They destroyed the entire asteroid base, and the rest of the dark magic users were completely decimated in the battle, and some of them were ultimately taken into custody and sentenced straightly into the Astro prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the sacred world and against the magical worlds as well in the process. On the 15th of April, on the 15th of April, on the 15th of April, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly arrived on the Intergalactic Coalition's base as the group of dark magic users appeared in the sky with battle cruisers and warships on top of the base as the dark magic users decimated and besieged the whole base with the dark magic. The Universal Magic Heroes were exactly able to receive aid and unexpected help from Universal Magic Girl, who was able to arrive in order to battle against the dark magic users and the Intergalactic Coalition, and the Intergalactic Coalition 4 Nation Hunters and the 5 Nation Hunters and the 6 Nation Hunters exactly worked together to defeat the dark magic users and completely decimated them in the process. They weren't able to exactly catch several of the other dark magic users as they decimated all the other battle cruisers and warships in the skies, and they were completely defeated as they were all quietly completely happy that the enemy was completely defeated. And the Intergalactic Coalition thanked Universal Magic Girl and also the Universal Magic Heroes for their help and their assistance, stated that they should exactly help each other and aid each other with their respective missions as well. Nolan exactly told the leader of the Intergalactic Coalition of the 4 Nation Hunters that the Universal Magic Heroes have their own mission and also their own mission and their own goals, but helping the Intergalactic Coalition and saving it from any sinister threats and forces will still exactly completely continue as well. Mike exactly continued hacking into the other computer base in order to know more about the dark magic users' attacks and their planning and their plotting, as he realizes that there are more sinister attacks about to take place and that they should exactly hurry up in order to prevent them from exactly taking place as well. On the 10th of May, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly combine all the intelligence and all the knowledge about the dark magic users, mapping all the recent attacks, mapping all the attacks and mapping all the attacks and all the knowledge and all the scouting of the attacks, as they realize that another group of dark magic users known as the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful are exactly about to exactly attack another innocent magical world that is full of magical creatures, and that they have to head there and prevent the attack from head on. They exactly went there and arrived on time, as Universal Magic Girl was right there on time, and they fought against the dark magic users, defeating them and decimating them in the process, and completely not exactly able to catch or interrogate any of them, as they were completely decimated within the battle, but they were able to remain victorious as by protecting the warlocks and the other magical users, as the other light magical users who fought back against the enemy, and realizing that they exactly remained victorious. But Nelly and Mike exactly realizes that the enemy is becoming more dangerously unpredictable and becoming more hungry for destruction and more for power, and that they're not exactly willing to give up. Nolan exactly decided to head to the dark worlds and to the dark planets, as Nelly told him that those dark worlds and dark planets are the territory of the Dark Empire that is quietly still led by another ancient evil force known as the Fallen, who is exactly banished, from the other dark dimension, and is remaining there, and that his empire is still functioning, and that his followers rules and conquer those worlds and those planets, and still exactly holds those planets and those worlds as territories. Nolan exactly decided they'll go there in disguise as dark magic users in order to investigate more about the dark crystals and about the dark powers as well. On the second of June, the Universal Magic Heroes arrive on the dark magical worlds, as they realize that those dark magical worlds and cities are full of dark evil warlocks and evil witches and evil druids and evil dark and powerful magic users who are exactly able to exactly seize more power and control in harvesting the power of the dark crystals, as they are able to gather intelligence on a group of other dark magic users who are planning an attack. But in doing so, they also gathered knowledge and intelligence on the dark empire of the Fallen that is still exactly unable to proceed with its full-scale invasion attack on the other worlds and other civilization, now that their leader and master is banished and still trapped on another dark dimension for his crimes against the sacred world and against the sacred universe and against the magical world and against the supernaturals, the aliens, and the superhumans, for trying to wipe them out and exterminate them completely, which is still quietly highly active as well. They learn that the Sons of the Fallen are carrying out a secretive and powerful operation that could exactly lead to chaos and destruction, and that could exactly bring back the age of darkness as well in the process. Despite that, Nolan exactly decided that they have to exactly make sure that these sinister threats and that the empire, that the dark empire of the fallen doesn't exactly ascend or rises to power, that they have an idea in order to stop it. They destroyed the entire facility of dark crystals and everything else in the process, using their dark magical powers and abilities in the process, shutting down the operation as well, as they completely were successful. Nolan and the other magical and the other universal magic heroes were completely happy and also were completely proud that their tactic and their plan worked brilliantly in shutting down and in slowing down the process of the Fallen's empire and of his forces and his followers from exactly making sure that they don't exactly ascend and rise into power soon as possible. On the 13th of July, the Universal Magic Heroes exactly stopped another attack of dark and powerful magic users, able to take them into custody and sending them directly into custody of the Astral Prison to remain there. Despite that, they were able to meet up with the Universal Heroes on the 20th of July within the asteroid base, telling them that their mission was quite successful and that they did all they can in order to prevent the enemy and also prevented the Fallen's forces and his followers from exactly rising into power and also from ascending into power quickly soon as possible. Grayson was completely proud and very happy of the Universal Magic Heroes, and so was Universal Magical, telling them that they are hereby still full members. They are hereby still members of the Universal Heroes and they will always remain so. And only completely shake hands as he told Grayson that he found his new family and that Nolan and that David and Mike and Nellie are his new family and also like brothers and sisters to him, as much as Grayson is his elder brother and Universal Magical is his younger sister. They'll always remain as brothers and sisters as well. On the 1st of August, the Universal Magic Heroes combine the intelligence and the knowledge as they realizes that the Fallen's Empire and the other groups of dark magic users are planning something big and very, very big, and that the war between the Shadow Empire and the Star Empire is having a great gravitational effect on the sacred balance that is quietly affecting all sinister threats and all forces of good and evil to exactly wage war with each other for soul dominance and for soul control over the known universe and over the sacred universe as well, meaning that they have to do everything in their power in order to make sure that these attacks and all these other ambushes attacks are being prevented and that they're fighting up against the greatest and most formidable mortal enemy that's ever existed. Nellie and Mike and David, that they say that they're in this together and that they exactly make sure that their hands were like this, as in completely like this, stating that they are hereby the Universal Magic Heroes and that they are hereby to restore peace and that they'll do whatever they can and that they are hereby a family of super magical heroes who bring hope and inspiration and that saving humanity and the other supernatural and the other supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the other magical creatures is what they're destined to do, and that's exactly what they're willing to do. Nolan completely agreed with the rest of his teammates, stating that together they are stronger and more powerful than ever before, and that they can overthrow and stop any sinister plan from taking place. Despite this, guys, the Universal Magic Heroes are very compassionate as each member comes from different worlds and different planets. Nellie comes from a world of witches, comes from a world of light and beautiful witches who lived for many years and for many centuries with their power and the ability to give life to magic, to magical worlds and to magical planet. David is an expert hacker and very much quietly skillful in magical deception and also very skillful in the dark arts. He's very quietly wise and the expert of dark magic and also the expert of the dark arts as well. But he's very kind and very loyal to the members of the Universal Magic Heroes, and he very much views them as brothers and sisters, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to protect them and also to serve justice to the sacred world and to the sacred universe. Mike, on the other hand, is very much quietly cunning and very much quietly skillful in combat sorcery and also in combat magic. Very, very much quietly smart and intelligent, as he'll do whatever it takes to restore balance and sacred peace to the sacred world and to the sacred universe. And he's very loyal and very trustworthy to the rest of the members of his teammates, and also views the Universal Heroes and the rest of the World Heroes and the United Heroes as family members as well. Nolan is a leader and founder of the Universal Magic Heroes, as he's willing to do whatever it takes to protecting the sacred world and the rest of the sacred world and of the known universe and the rest of sacred existence from the forces of evil. He views the members of his teammates as brothers and sisters, as he views the Universal heroes as brothers and sisters as well, and as the world heroes as well, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to exactly work with them and also to join forces with them, especially by working in hand with the Intergalactic Coalition to restore peace and justice and order to the sacred world and to the sacred universe and to the magical world and to the magical civilizations as well. Despite this, their greatest and most formidable enemy is the Order of the Five, in a group of dark and powerful, formidable magic users known as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, the Seconds, the Winds. They are the most deadliest, most powerful, formidable enemies of the universal magic heroes who have existed for millennia and for many centuries, and they view the universal magic heroes as threats to their plans, and also as threats to the operation. They even exactly view the fallen's dark empire as a sinister, magnificent threat that is trying to arise and ascend to power, which they've exactly prevented. Despite that, the universal magic heroes are very skillful members of superheroes who are very skillful in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, combat sorcery, and combat magic, who are very skillful in light magic and all magical aspects and also grateful with magical expertise and knowledge and talents as well. They're very, 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 very much of a mindful heroes who care so much of humanity and are willing to make a difference to the rest of Sacred World and to the rest of Sacred Existence. They view the 4 Nation Hunters and the 5 Nation Hunters as brothers and sisters and are willing to exactly work with them, and aid them on their mission to exactly banishing and removing the monsters of the Dark Dimension, which are being summoned by another mysterious evil force that has lived for many centuries as well. Despite this, guys, they're very powerful, very much clever, intelligent creatures and intelligent heroes who care so much of humanity and the rest of Sacred Existence and are willing to do whatever it takes to protect it. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll exactly see you tomorrow. Like and subscribe my videos. Have a blissfully wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.